Hello, everybody, and welcome to Angel Meadows. I am Mama D. Darlene, your hostess for this evening, and always, because you can't get rid of me that easily, no matter how much you try. My guest this evening is I heard her on a friend's show, Cinnamon Moon show on Blog Talk. Very awesome lady. She always has very interesting guests, and for some reason, when I get to actually hear a full show, I always want that guest on my show. So Simon has given me permission to talk to her guests without frightening them. And Carolyn Coleridge was a very interesting guest that she had on. And I was like, took me a while to get up the nerve to ask her. But when I did, she said yes. And she's doing us the great honor of doing it. We're fitting into her schedule. So, Carolyn, we're between patients or clients, whichever the one you want to call them. But thanks for being on my show.
Sure, absolutely. This is great.
Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, my name is Carolyn Coleridge, and I am an intuitive psychotherapist, and I'm an energy healer, and I've been doing it for 23 years. And I still work at a mental health clinic, a well-known one, and I also have a private practice where I'm doing energy healing. I'm doing a class today on intuitive development. I do readings and mediumship, and I'm trying to incorporate spirituality into mental health. And that came all of a sudden because I had a lot of spiritual experiences, but I was a trained therapist. So I'm trying to help people to understand that a lot of these weird experiences people have, or mental breakdowns or difficulty and mental illness, can be connected to some spiritual breakthroughs, and how do you help heal them in a more holistic, compassionate way. So that's kind of like my work that I'm doing on the planet.
Interesting. Now, when I scoured and devoured your website, I found a very interesting video which I shared. It was I think it was Dr. Oz, Mehmet Oz, on the big guy on TV that everyone just kind of goes to. He's like, it's very interesting and very awesome gentleman. But there was a thing where he started using Reiki in his hospitals before, during, and after surgery, if I'm correct. And he sort of like I remember seeing something about his show one time that they were talking about Reiki. And you're a Reiki master. Okay, let's see. Amongst other energy healings you do IET. You are a master and an instructor. You're a pranic healer, and you are a theta healing. You have a theta healing practice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I sort of trip over my tongue with those words. But the video that I saw, it also showed you working at, let's get this right, the UCLA Pediatric Pain Clinic. And you did work with a young girl. I think she was in her mid-teens. She was a swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was, I'm still amazed. Like when I first started Reiki, I was amazed that, about it. So I'm still amazed at how people are actually bringing it into their lives. I thought that was totally awesome, is that you actually worked in what a lot of people call a regular hospital, not just for specials, and it was accepted. Because up here in Canada, we're just getting there. People know about it, but it's not in the hospitals. And I'm hoping I believe that it should get into the hospital. So, like I said, when I saw your video that you worked with it in the hospital settings, I was like, we must know more.
Yeah.
When did you start working using Reiki and your healings in an actual hospital setting?
I joined the pediatric pain program. Wow, boy, it's been a couple of years I've been there, but I was there for 6 years, and I met the woman who got me into it coincidentally. She was working as a PhD at the program, the pediatric pain program started by Lonnie Zeltzer, and it's this pediatrician who actually uses a complementary alternative medicine team to help heal the kids in chronic pain. So we had an acupuncturist, a meditation teacher, a yoga teacher, energy healer myself, somebody that did craniosacral, and maybe a couple other biofeedback and other modalities, and we'd all discuss the kids in rounds. and then usually I would go to their homes because they were really sick, or sometimes I would go to the hospital. And it was an uphill battle. I mean, I think she did meet resistance, but she was real well known and real established there at UCLA, and she started the program all on grants. She got a lot of grants every year through NIMH, National Institute of Mental Health, or maybe National Institute of Health. And, it was just something that she felt very passionate about because traditional medicine, some of the pain medication was too strong for them, and some of them did have pain medication. So it was a way to kind of work with the system to circumvent it also. But there's a lot of, there's 13 complementary alternative medicine programs at UCLA, so she's not the only one. Mm-hmm. And it really was about helping mind, body, spirit, and trying to address the issues with, energy healing, which I did. And a lot of the kids had a lot of emotional issues that are connected to their chronic pain, so that would really help them. And there are a lot of hospitals that are starting to use them in the U.S., not a whole bunch, but I think somebody said there's about 30, maybe a little bit more, that are beginning to. And I know that video that when I did the CNN show, I didn't realize that Dr. Oz was going to introduce a segment because we were all taped separately, but he uses energy healers in his operating room, and his wife is actually an energy healer. And they said that there was a lot of positive results, that the people who were having cardiac surgery, they had no post-operative, complications. They didn't have a lot of complications with their, and no depression, and they all did very well when they had a Reiki healers before the surgery. So the spiritual energy of healing actually helped them heal better post-surgical. So, and then, working at the hospital as part of the team, going in to see the kids, or really going to their homes and helping them to understand what the spiritual aspect of their disease may be, and to just give relaxation, to give peace of mind. And a lot of these young souls were very powerful. They had a lot of knowledge. They seemed to know what their missions were. I was kind of surprised. It's kind of interesting. They had a challenge of a medical condition, also had a lot of work to do here on the planet, bring enlightenment. So I think there was a combination there. So it was really an honor. That young girl is, I think she's 22 now.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I know.
Well,
so
I'm sharing her video around. She's still a 15-year-old child.
Right. She's still on Facebook with me. She's becoming a therapist, actually. Awesome. Maybe she'll use, I think she wants to work with athletes now. So that's kind of what helped her.
That would make, that's her area of expertise, so that would make sense.
Uh-huh.
When did you first discover energy healing? In general.
I think when I was in Manhattan, I went to Columbia to get my master's in social work, and I was working on Wall Street in an employee assistance program as a therapist. And one of my managers, B. Harris, she said to me, you change. And New York is a very intense energy. It can be very draining. People are very direct, and they're demanding, and it's an exciting city. I love it. I was born in Brooklyn,
Okay.
And I was raised in Connecticut, though, but born in Brooklyn. So I love New Yorkers. But she said, they can drain the hell out of you, especially as a social worker. So she said to me, you change the energy of the room. And when you moved into this office facing the Hudson River, and I'm like, what does that mean? And I know she feng shuied her office. So I ended up going to, she said, energy, you don't know about energy? And I was like, oh, what's that? And I started looking into it because I was getting so drained, working as a therapist, doing other stuff. And I went to an energy healing session in Chelsea in Manhattan, and it was so healing. The vibe, we would meditate, and then we'd talk about energy. The guy would do healing on you, the different people. And I was like, this is great. And then I got initiated by two women under the Diane Stein lineage, and Ushi, and then it was, okay, great, and I never really used it because I was trained as a therapist. I said, what do I do with it? But then one time my client in Manhattan, she was really sick and really depressed, and I really had to, help her. And I said, how could I help her? And I just remembered Reiki, so and there was nobody in the office. There was no psychiatrist on call. She had a suicide plan, and I was really nervous, and I was a new therapist. So I sent her a Reiki symbol, the Chokore. I just sent it in from my intention in my mind, and all of a sudden she was talking about her plan, now she's going to end the earth, and she looked at me and said, "What did you do?" And I said, "I sent you a Reiki symbol." And she said, "Oh my God, it felt like a wave of good. It felt so healing. I feel so much better." It calmed her down enough where she stopped. We could contract for safety. She'd have a suicide plan. So that's when I really started to use Reiki a little bit more. Like I would send clients energy in sessions without them knowing, and they would either reveal a lot or they would feel calmer.
Okay.
And then it wasn't until I moved to Manhattan, to LA, that I started to do it more at Agape, the church there. And then I did a lot of healing there. They have a lot of different ministries, and I was part of the healing ministry, the well-being. And then also I started doing it privately with people. And then I got the job at UCLA. So it was a progression. But, we're spiritual beings. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Did your family find it difficult when you sort of opened up to spirituality and the energies of healing and everything else, or like, for me, my family didn't know about it until I was comfortable enough to tell them. How was your, as I call it, coming out of the closet?
Coming out of the closet. Well, my mother who just recently passed, actually, God bless her soul, she was a scientist, and she also was a psychic. So she really was. She had a lot of psychic dreams, and she never read people, but she would tell us visions of the family, and she'd see her relatives who had passed on, and she'd have visions about me and dreams, a lot of premonitions. So that part she knew. And then one time her knee was out and I did healing and it felt a lot better on her. So she was open. My mother was open to that, even though she was a scientist. And my dad's a minister, but he's also a social worker. So he's aware as a therapist, how energy and healing works. So he just kind of went along with it. And he said his great-grandmother used to bring him to spirit circles. They're from South America, so maybe they're a little bit open. But spirit circles, well, what happened is she would bring him in, and they would call in the spirits, and they would literally come into the room, and then they would pray with him and do other stuff. That's all he remembered. He was 5 years old. So he said there was such a sense of warmth and love, these high beings. It wasn't like anything negative. So the only warning was to make sure you stay in the light. Just do only light work. So they were very open to it. Yeah, they weren't exactly. They thought I would get an MBA or something. But, considering I have a scientist and a medium and a therapist and a minister, it kind of combines the spirituality, the mental health, the scientific, and the counseling. So it kind of makes sense that I do what I do.
Yeah. It's kind of like you have what people would say, the yin and the yang. You have both sides that fit together, and there you just fit snugly in between, and it just works.
Right,
so you got to have that little, which is really cool, because I think it's awesome when people have family that support. Mine support, but they didn't understand because I had to explain it. So you kind of had they already had the opening of it. So which is totally awesome. And I did see about your mom passing. My sympathies for that loss. But they're always there. I think my mother is with me more now since she's crossed over than when she was, because we weren't, close proximity wise. But now it's like I say, she doesn't have to wait to get on the train. She's there, like I do something stupid and it's like, I know, I'll be like, if mom was here, she's here, because I'm thinking about her. She'd be smacking you or giving you that look, or, it's like, okay. So you sort of have to fix what you're doing, because you're really going over the deep end. So yeah. But
I feel her presence around, definitely. Especially when I do meditation classes at my jobs, I feel her. It's kind of bizarre. It's strange to me, but it's very comforting at the same time.
Have you ever run into somebody who just kind of was? Oh, we're gonna have a question in the chat room. It says, this is from Scott Stevenson in the chat room. Aside from all the other little things he's been saying. Let's get the question here. He says, here in the UK, our decision makers in our health services are very, very slowly starting to accept things complementary to work along with what they do. But the requirements on the therapists tend to make it that they feel they need to be either doctors or senior nurses who do it. Us lay people are looked upon like quacks and frauds. It's slowly changing. Do you find that with your healing and your health and services healing, etc.?
Well, it was an uphill battle. Everyone didn't accept it. I mean, she really pushed it, the pediatrician who started it. But I did feel a little bit of a stepchild at some times because of the other people in the hospital are not always open, and the other practitioners are not always open because they don't know what it is. I mean, acupuncture is more proven than meditation and other stuff. But the kids, the response of the kids was so positive. They really felt the energy that would legitimize my work. And I do feel like people still think it's quacks. It's still, there's certain hospitals like Arizona and maybe Massachusetts, UMass, where they do meditation, where it does is more accepted. But UCLA is a very conservative, research-driven, PhD-driven hospital. So it was really, kind of powerful for her to have the guts to do that. But, yeah, no, there's still people that had issues with it. And there were parents that didn't want their kids to, like, oh, no, that's a little weird. But the kids loved the crystals and the stones, and I had my little group of kids that would really work with it. And I say kids, they were a little bit older. They were about, 11 and up, tweens maybe.
Yeah.
Just to adolescents. But, yeah, it's still, but I think Dr. Oz's information, and I'm part of a group called ACEP, Association of Comprehensive Energy Psychologists, and there's psychotherapists who do healing. And that's also, an organization here. And there's a lot of, as part of La Jolla and the Scripps schools, they have a lot of conferences. There's a conference. So there's a lot of different places that are doing things. And California is probably the big moonbeam. It's probably the better place to do it.
Yeah, it would be. I'm enjoying the fact that healing services are becoming more mainstream, because then it's I still find it like I'm still in shock and awe that I can do what I do, and then Reiki does what it does, and it's like I'm still sometimes I feel like each time I do a treatment, it's like the first time you get that. It's like I don't need to compensate the confirmation from the client. I can just sort of see it and feel it. So I think that if we as practitioners keep going, like I said, yours was the first one I saw that was, somebody working in the field, in what they call traditional medical field, was working with energy. So I think that's like major plus. Because the thing is people are still kind of, like you said, finding it hush-hush and quacks. And I've actually had people going, how do you know you're not hurting them? It's like, and then you have to sort of explain it all. So I love it when people get it this way. So I try and try and spread the word.
Right.
Possible,
I know they try to say Dr. Oz is a quack, but he's a pretty,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they say, well, Carolyn Coleridge and Mama D, it's like, who are those people? Say Dr. Oz. Oh, damn, then it must be real, because it's that's Oprah's doctor sort of thing,
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts him in the operating room, and his wife's an energy healer. So he says, and he says in the video that it's going to be the forefront of the change of medicine in the future. So that's pretty powerful.
Okay, we're now recording. I kicked myself out of my chat room. Y'all missed. I'm hoping that maybe Jenny can work her wizard magic and get back what I missed the recording of. Gosh only knows. Yeah, well, you can take that green off because you hurt my eyeballs. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to call Carolyn and apologize. Oy vey. That's so not fair. I had a rock awesome show, a rock awesome guest, and I had to kick my stupid butt out of the chat room, and there you go. Oh, people gonna make me crazy. Yeah, I caught it. Well, thankfully to Scott or Eric and Eric's, yes, thank you. Best show ever, never recorded. That's so neat. Okay, so Sheila and Lana will both be guests of mine in the future. So now you know what craziness goes on in my show. Are you still willing to be guests? Sheila, and yes, they both said yes. So we're not going to talk about who you are and what you're going to say. Hush, Eric. You just want to be, you and Teddy want to be on the show a lot more, that's all. Yay, Lana. Yes, my girl. Oh, stop pouting, boys. Okay, what, I do this. I read the chat like I'm on a Facebook Live, but this is not a Facebook Live. This is my radio show. All right. Eric Scott, would you please mic up? Oh, she can whoop you. Thank you.
For goodness sake, what's the matter with you, man?
Why didn't you tell me in the beginning that I wasn't recording?
I never noticed.
That was really nice. People, you guys are supposed to have my back.
Lana's getting quite uppity.
She is. Wait till she comes on my show. My guest. My official guest, not just a guest in the chat room. Well, you're gonna have a fun one with her. Something tells me she's gonna be fun. Who is busy getting a reading?
Me. I was too busy getting a reading to notice that you weren't recording. I wouldn't have recorded anyway. She's a funny one, her. I've got 3 daughters and I've seen Buffy. She doesn't frighten me. It's more of a challenge.
So, Scott.
Yes, dear.
Scott.
Yes, dear.
In the reading that wasn't recorded, she said that you should step into the light more. Not that you're in the shadows, but step into the light more. And
there's a subtle hint, put the camera on.
There you go. You can do that. But there's also a majority of the people in this chat room also know not only are you just a hypnotherapist, but you are a hot damn double XL.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, you're a medium. I put you in a box.
Maybe.
You're a medium.
Okay.
Y'all know that when I consider medium psychics and Reiki masters, Reiki practitioners, whatever, healers. So I had to put them in a little box. You won't stay there long, but
no.
So do you get anything from anybody in the chat room?
Yes. Her nibs. Lana. She's got a big brown dog with her. It's like
Lana, hold on a second. Lana, darling.
Is she awake?
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so
is she off washing the dishes or cooking or something?
Okay, is it okay if Scott comes to you? Yes.
Right, it's a big brown dog. It's like a Rhodesian Ridgeback. It's a big beastie. So it's I can't remember the sort of general thingy, but it's a big brown beast of a dog. I think it's a he. I'm not sure. I can't see underneath, so I can't tell for sure. But if it's not a he, then it's a big she, because it's very powerful. But I think it's a male. It's jumping up at the couch and it's jumping up at her, but it's her dog. It's a dog that's with her. Does that make any sense? Tongue out, 2 fingers typing. Oh, not a cocker spaniel, for God's sake. Not only is she gobby, she doesn't listen.
He said it was a
big brown dog, a Rhodesian Ridgeback type dog. A big muscly thing, short hair, big head.
Put a picture in the chat room if you want.
Like a big pit bull.
Oh, this is a baby fish. Here a second. Puppy.
Yeah, mastiff. That's the word I was looking for.
There you go. Go to there, you'll get to see what they're like.
Rhodesian. R-H-O-D.
Well, I got Regasian.
No
it's
idea.
still a cutie.
All right. Okay. I won't click it, because when I click those links, I'd kind of get back in.
Same thing.
Remember this dog? Right now it's sitting on her right hand side by her leg. she'll feel it's cold on the outside. It's definitely not a cocker. It's definitely a mastiff. No, I don't know.
She never owned a dog, but her childhood dog was the same color of the coat.
Okay. I don't want to do the making it fit thing and say it's a spirit guide animal or whatever, because that's just that's not. I don't think that's right. It might be, but I don't want to do it along that way. She must know the person that had that dog then.
So it could have been somebody who had a dog that she knew. It didn't have to be her.
She knew that dog. If she looks back to when she was in the 70s, 80s, that should be quite young then, I'd imagine.
Okay, Lana, did you get that? Okay, you know that there's a O. We're not even going as to her age. I'm not saying anything. Nobody wants to say anything. She's a child compared to this old bat.
Okay. I'm too much of a gentleman to even suggest anything else, darling.
I know that. What,
right.
I'm an old bat?
Okay.
My brother and sister had a dog that looked similar to that.
Okay. You'll feel your right leg from the knee down's cold. That's it sitting beside you. There's a situation around you with a person. I don't know whether it's a work or whether it's I don't know what it is, but there's somebody around you that's... It's like a male that's got a crush on you that's not taking the hint. You've been very gentle and you've been very nice. Next time they start their nonsense, ask your dog to go visit. Is she typing or is she still alive?
No, that was me who typed. She's sort of wowing.
Okay. Also, there's a decision she has to make with work.
Okay, Lana, if you want, you can turn on your mic.
A good idea.
But then this way, you're like me, you need to...
Hi, Soul.
It's okay, Soul. I forgive you. Ah, look, there's Eric. Got his juice.
He's in light tonight. He's usually in the dark.
Okay, hang on. Let me turn.
He must have tidied his room or something.
Okay, Lana, you're live, honey. Okay, you're live. So go ahead. Continue, Scott.
Okay, there's something going on with work. I think it's to do with a promotion, or it's an upgrade, or there's taking on new tasks, new responsibilities. You've been dragging your feet. You've been saying, I don't think I can do that, or blah, blah, blah. The usual rubbish. It's going to be in your interests to go along that path. Because the job that it ends up being is not the job that you initially thought it was going to be, and it's going to really suit you.
Okay. Yeah, that actually makes sense for where I'm at right now in my life.
Okay. And the blokey that's been a little bit a pain in the derriere.
Ooh.
Right. Let's just ask your dog to enlighten him, and you'll find that he backs off. And just consciously, just close your eyes for 2 minutes, go to the loo or whatever, or if you can sit and do it at your desk or wherever you work. Just get your dog to go and have a word, and then sort of patrol an area that you're comfortable with, and that blokey will no longer be as interested. Okay?
Okay, that makes sense. It's interesting because that doesn't really, at least for me at this point, involve an incarnate man, but there really is a male spirit that I've had. I view it in a respectful platonic way, but I've been getting kind of like romantic vibes from him, and it's just like, no, I don't see it like that.
Yeah, that brown dog, that big mastiff, he's a big, I keep on saying it's a he, I'm really not sure whether it's a he or a she, but It's a big, powerful beast. It'll do whatever you want it to do. And it's your guard dog. It's going to be a guard for you. So send it over and sort him out.
Fantastic. Well, if it doesn't have a name already, I'll call him Anubis.
Excellent.
Name.
Got a name already. Good. The house I was seeing you in, it was. You don't sound British, but it looks like a British sort of rented house, council house. The big sort of yellowy, flowery wallpaper. So it's definitely 70s, 80s. The sort of leatherette type suite, living room furniture, and another different coloured carpet. That was for a memory for you. Where the couch is, looking at it on the right hand side, there's a door into the hall, stairs leading upwards. So I don't know whether that's a memory or something for you, or when that dog was about.
That does sound like more of a memory, because I'm especially thinking of, I come from a military family, and so there were certain times that we lived in base housing, which, the kind of houses, all townhouses kind of stacked up together.
Yeah, a base house sounds right. It's not a house that was owned by MD, it was a house that was lived in and rented from somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all I've got for you. It was important to give you that big brown dog. And you've also got an eagle owl on your shoulder.
Yes, that's one of my favorite spirit animals.
Okay, it's on your shoulder.
That's
another protective one. And you've got a hedgehog. That's just ridiculous. How can you have a spirit animal that's a hedgehog? Mm-hmm. You've got a little hedgehog that's sitting on your knee. Right. The hedgehog also symbolises you. For too long, you've been all rolled up, with your spine sticking outwards. It's now time to unfurl. Like I was told today, it's time to unfurl and go out there and do your thing. You've been in defence mode for quite a while, and you no longer need to be the prickly spirit, as Eric has mentioned. It's now time to unravel and be the cute little hedgehog. Right? At any point you can roll back up again if you need to, but it's now time to unroll and walk about and look all cute and whatever.
Oh no, that definitely makes sense. I would definitely say I'm a kind person, a good person, but I have guarded for a good chunk of my life out of a sense of self-protection. And
right, so now you've got Anubis. When you deal with this spook that's giving you the hard time, that will be the confirmation for you that he's there to protect us. I'm saying Anubis is there to protect you. So start using him. And then once you've started using him and you've seen for yourself that it does what it's supposed to do and it's there to protect you, you're not going to need the armour, you're not going to need the two swords over the back, and the shield, and it's quite a nice look with the leather kilt thing with the little plates on and the silvery. No, I won't go there. It was getting too good then. But you won't need that anymore. Right, the armour can come off, the sword can be put down, and it's now time to go out and I know it wouldn't surprise me. But it's that shearer look. You no longer need it. It's very good, but it's not from now. You don't need it now.
Okay, I'm going to save you now, Scott. Shush.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you, Lana.
You're welcome.
You've got an older lady that pops in to give you a hug and just say that she's about you as well. I think it's a gran or an auntie, but she's quite old. It's a gran's age, so it's either grand sister or an older mum's sister.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, for sure. I got never.
Well, she's giving you she's giving you a big cuddle and saying if you need to keep your hands occupied, take up knitting.
Oh, could you repeat?
Keep her hands off for what?
If you want to keep your hands occupied, take up knitting.
Oh, take up knitting. Yes. That's my great grandma.
There you go.
Right, that's me. Eric's come. Nah.
Okay. Oh, so. Okay, Eric.
What was that? I missed that, Scott. Can you say that again?
Yeah.
All of it. All of it.
Yeah.
No.
What? What were we doing readings? I just thought you were having a...
Yeah, we are, but
fashion show or something.
I had to make, I had to make Scott step out of the shadow, step into the light, because Carolyn told him that's what he was supposed to do. And Soul Destroyers talk about pole dancing to keep fit. Don't even. Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Scott's off. That's it. Yeah, sorry. So we were doing readings, okay.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Yeah, who were we doing? Was that Lana?
Yeah.
Do you want me to carry on with Lana, or do you want me?
Oh, if you got something for Lana, if you're.
Yeah, I have Lana. Hi.
Lana, this is Eric. Eric, this is Lana.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Lana. Yes, have you got your head down the toilet? Or is that just an echo?
That was Scott coughing.
Sorry, Scott coughing.
I just muted him. It's okay, I muted him. It's okay. I should have done it wrong.
Okay, right, okay. I want to do a little bit of a left turn from what Scott was saying. This lady that's just popped in, I've got a grandmotherly type of vibration that's coming through with her. She's talking to me about pen to paper. So there must be something that's coming up that you have to, some kind of contract or legal kind of thing that you need to sign. Would you make sense of that?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, okay. She's saying, could you please make sure that you actually read it and not just copy sign it? Because I think there's stuff in there that you need to actually understand. All right. I don't know if you work with spirit or if you deal with spirit, but I've got a lot of, when Scott was running through your spirit totems or animals that are with you, I had this feeling of immense strength and power that's linking you to the spirit world. So if you work with spirit, that's what's coming through very loud and clear at my end.
Yes, I am a psychic medium.
Yeah, I thought so. So preaching to the choir, really, isn't it? You know when you talk with the one year old, but and then you get Scott. So that's it. But the thing is, Scott, you're not going to put that back in your mouth after doing that with it.
I can beat you with that, Scott. I have a longer time.
Yeah. But no, I've got it. Yeah, okay. I know Scott's come through with a whole load of different animals, and I hate to add to your menagerie, okay? But I have a wolf, and I have this wolf because obviously wolves are solitary animals, but they come together to hunt. And I've got a feeling that there's something coming around where you will be part of a group with your work. So I know that I work singularly, but there's times when I work with a friend of mine as a rambling medium, and we then do another show where we'll have 6 or 7 people on the stage and just jam and just see what comes through. And I've got a feeling that they're going to work with other people as a part of a group.
That definitely resonates.
Okay. I feel as if you've been doing this for a while and you're getting to the stage now where you're looking for things to stretch your psychic muscles.
Yes.
And I feel as if there's some things that you're coming along and the day-to-day, the day-to-day one-to-one readings, things like this, as much as you enjoy doing them and they fill the time in and they do everything else, it's not stretching you. And that Spirit's trying to tell me that there's a new pathway coming. I'm always being told that, and I always look back in horror. But the thing is, though, that I do feel it, because I'm a comfort man. I mean, I tell everybody, you can call us what you like, just don't call us late for dinner. But the thing is, though, that, it's nearly choked on water there. It's as if I want to take you off of the diagonal. Okay, I want to take you off of the diagonal. I want to take you off that. There's something coming that's associated with what you do now, but not the same. Okay, and it's going to stretch you, and that's what you need. Because I feel as if, and I don't want to use, when working with spirit, it's really hard to try and, not to use the cliches that everybody else uses, but, and it's a wonderful thing and a wonderful, wonderful thing that we have nurtured and brought forward. But I've got to say, it's feeling stale for you. I've got a feeling that, like, yeah, it's there and we're doing it, but it's the same old, and you're looking for some way to up the game, because spirit's always looking for ways to connect with people, different and more diverse ways of connecting with people. And as such, there's things rolling around in your head that have been on a back burner for a while, but I've got a sneaky feeling they're coming to the front burner, and that's what that thing that needs to be signed's all about.
Yeah, definitely. That all resonates. I've been having the feeling lately, in particular, of the fact that even though, yes, being a psychic, being a medium, being intuitive is all a part of who I am and what I'm here for, there's been this feeling that spirit has gotten like, oh, just you wait, there's this other stuff that's coming for you too. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, the other stuff. But they don't quite give you that whole thing. They just go, there's other stuff coming, and you have to sit there and wait in trepidation, because when it arrives, it's going to arrive very quickly, and then all of a sudden you're going to be taken off doing something else. Why? Who around you's got the hospital appointments coming up?
Let's see. I can't think of anyone immediately.
Yeah, there is.
Hospital appointments.
Yeah, there is. It's either doctors or hospital appointments, but it's some kind of going on, follow-on tests.
Goodness, I'm going to have to take note of this and see, because I can't think of anybody, but yeah.
It's somebody, and I've got to put it in the family circle, but I don't want to put it like on your knee. So it's got to be somebody in the family circle. Just watch for it coming up. I also feel as if that there must be a situation around and about you, and I have to take it slightly further out to maybe your circle of friends. But somebody's in a relationship where one half's trying and one half isn't.
Circle of friends, relationship with one half trying and one half isn't. Trying to think of any friend group.
You can. Let's narrow this down a little bit further, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would never used to have to say this, but I have to now. It's a male and a male and a female, all right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a same-sex relationship. But the thing is, though, that it's the person that everybody thinks has a perfect relationship, but they don't. And it's the one where everything's all right as long as she agrees with what he says.
Oh, okay, that makes it a bit clearer, yes.
Yeah, there you go. It's amazing what a fat bloke in the Northeast knows, isn't it? And it's, no, that's not marriage, mate. It's a little bit more than that. You usually end up in somewhere with bars on the windows if you go along that line. Oh, sorry, you haven't you? Bars on the windows. Just his colour scheme. I was looking at it. Sorry, I thought it was a cell. I'm going to get killed, I know I am.
Yes, you are.
Why have I got caravan holidays?
Okay. Caravan in it would be Winnebago type vehicles in the States. Caravan is the UK.
It's interesting. Well, I've been during Carolyn's speech. I was briefly looking at the Find Horn website just because it sounds familiar, and they had about living in a caravan park and growing vegetables. So I don't know if you're picking up on my research of that, but also lately I've been thinking I need a holiday badly.
Right, okay. Well, in the UK, if you really want to need a holiday and you're feeling a bit lucky, you can go off and get a caravan. And as Scott says, it's like a toad metal tent. And and the thing is that because of our English weather, you're more than likely going to need a boat to keep it dry. And but the thing is though that I've got a feeling as if there's all right then, okay. Have you been thinking between now and the end of February that you need a short break? I'm talking about 3 or 4 days away.
It was a bit longer out, but similarly, I've been thinking about, I will be moving near the end of January or February.
You're not moving to somewhere where there's a stream, like water running past, are you?
No.
Right, okay, then that's where you're going for the break.
Okay.
All right, because I'm seeing like water running past, and I'm seeing like either as I would put it, a caravan or an RV or something parked beside this stream, or a cottage beside the stream, something like that. You know what I mean? That they're there, and it's something a little bit different. Have you got bad back?
My back is pretty good, but I have had some pain.
Because they're talking about the fact that you're living through it. Okay, it's yeah. I wasn't going to go down that because it wasn't as big as that, Scott. Never mind. I feel as if your back needs to be worked on. I've got that your back can be helped, but I feel as if you spend quite a lot of time being your own boss, and what's going to happen. Could you just make sure that you just get it looked at?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely makes sense.
And somebody has missed their appointment at the gob shop, at the dentist's.
Okay. Has missed their appointment. I did miss my recent appointment. Yes.
Yeah. And right, I've got a gentleman that's just come in because I was desperately trying to break the link so we can move on. And we've got this gentleman that's just come in, and the gentleman stepped forward. Now, I don't know if this gentleman is linked to you or not, but I've got like a clergy or a preacher or some kind of religious figure.
I can't think of anyone directly related to me who's a clergyman.
Right. Because I'm being told he's just told me he's a pastor, and I thought that was something that came out of Italy, and you had with cheese and meatballs. But never mind. Anyway, he says he's a pastor, and he's talking about when he was a pastor, he used to give weird and off the wall type of sermons, sort of like this reading, really, and it's off the wall and type of sermons, and he said that you work very much like that yourself. What goes into your head comes out your mouth. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't understand why you're saying it, but everybody who's in front of you does.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, please don't change, because that's a good trait, except if you're talking to a policeman when you've been going too fast. Because somebody around and about you has a very heavy foot on the accelerator.
That would be me.
I know who it was, but I just was trying to be nice. Okay, Teddy's my guide, by the way, and when I do readings, he disappears across and comes and sees you. What's the picture on the wall? The big picture on the wall? I don't know if there's a lot of people in it, or if it's a portrait picture or something like that, but he's talking about the pictures of people on the wall.
Okay, the one picture that I think that comes to mind, it's in my mother's house, and it's a collection of mostly family photos and a couple of other photos related to vacation.
Right. You're not sitting in your mother's house, are you?
No, I'm living in my own apartment.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's there with you and not in your mother's house. He's talking about a picture on the wall, unless he's just wanting to try and bring something forward. All right. Is there a picture in your apartment that keeps moving, and you got to keep straightening it up?
Actually, let's see. Closest thing I think it's not a traditional picture, but it's a magazine that I have in my altar that it kept on moving, and I had to finally just lay it flat because it would just slip.
Right, because he's talking about the fact that there's a young child there with you in the apartment.
Oh.
Now, he's placing the young child at between the ages of 3 and 5. My guide is an idiot. I mean, I would have said 4 years of age. But no, Teddy puts it between 3 and 5. Because he's an idiot. Right, and this young child, she's a lovely soul. I feel as if she passed with either pneumonia or some kind of chest complaint or something before the times when antibiotics were freely available. And she's around just to boost your empathy and to boost your healing and your ability to project that healing. And that's what she's there to. She's just there to boost that. Asked what her name was, and she said it doesn't matter. So there you go. It's just a young child. She's responsible for the keys being moved.
Yes. Oh my God.
and it's usually when you're in a hurry because she thinks that's really funny.
Oh my God, no.
You did that the other day. I don't know if you're going to do readings or if you're going to go and meet somebody, but you couldn't find the keys. And then when you went back, they were in the first place. You really looked, but you just went freaked out. So she thought that was hilarious.
No, but honestly, there have been multiple times where, and it's always when I've been in a hurry that I couldn't find my keys, and then when they turn up, it's in a place where I'm like, either I just looked there and it wasn't there, it's physically been there.
Yeah, this is Spirit. Spirit find it really hilarious. And I've only been working with Spirit for 54 years now, and I still don't realise, I'm trying to get them to admit that it's really not that funny. You know? But they think it is. Okay. And also, bless you, I'm going to say that they're telling me you need to change your diet.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But not cosmetically, this is medically. I feel as if there's a sluggishness and a bloating kind of feeling and a slowing of the mental processes. So I don't know if it's irritable bowel syndrome or if it's colitis or if it's something, it could possibly be diabetes. But I just feel as if there's something that you need to change your diet for because it needs to get sorted so you get your energy back.
That's been a recurring message that I've gotten from Spirit about needing to change my diet specifically to help me feel better. And I do have a history of gastrointestinal issues. It hasn't necessarily been anything well diagnosed that I've ever received it, but I've always had a history of upset stomachs.
Right,
bloating.
okay. I've got to give you the memory of somebody's passing to Spirit just before Christmas.
Memory of somebody's passing.
Yeah, it could be years ago. It's just that somebody's come in and just given me, just flashed the calendar back to the end of November, beginning of December, as a memory of somebody's passing to Spirit.
Now, there's a couple of people in Spirit that I have been communicating with or have been sending signs to me. They weren't people I knew personally, but they definitely did pass away.
This is somebody that you knew. This is somebody you knew. And it had to be at the start of December, and it was a gentleman. Just have a think about it, because it's getting this gentleman's going, I shall remember about, the usual time. 3:33 in the morning when you sit bolt upright in bed, as you normally do. And also, I've got to go forward. There must be somebody's birthday coming up here on the Earth plane.
Yes, with some of my friends, there's and my mother's birthday coming up soon.
Yeah, and also there's somebody's anniversary as well here on the Earth plane. Yes. And there must be a special either birthday or anniversary in the summer, which is marked by a special number. Like it's either an 18th or a 21st or a 30th, 40th, 50th, whatever. And it's either a birthday or, because there must be a big party being planned around there, and you're not sure if you're going to be able to get, but you are.
Yes, just you. Okay, I think Scott's sound is gone.
Scott's sound's gone, has it?
Oh no.
That's okay, he'll be there. He's still there. I can't hear nothing. That's probably because you're freaking muted. Hold on, do it again.
Is that it now?
You muted yourself, didn't you?
Oh.
Yeah, goon, that's my move. Okay.
I thought he was sounding the best he'd sounded all night.
Is that it back now? Is it?
Yeah,
am I here? Is it even here?
Yeah. I tell you what, Scott, why don't me and you take over the show? Just let her sit there.
I'll just sit there.
I think she's due for medication or something.
I think she's had her medication. Have you seen the state of her eyes?
Right, like holes in the snow.
Okay. Lana, thank you very much for letting the boys read for you. Give you a message.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Scott and Eric.
You're welcome.
I know.
You're most welcome.
People in the chat room had piped up that they would like reading, but I got a message that somebody has a message for Sheila. Sheila, would it be okay?
That's me. Sheila, can you take an old lady, very slim build, short brown hair, possibly curly, always wore a Mac, a raincoat, and a not a carrier bag, but one of these bags for life type bags that old ladies sort of carry.
Okay. She has no mic because her husband stole her headset so he could listen to music. I was like, how rude. Okay. Sheila.
Okay. And she was a very quiet lady, very unassuming. She'd blend into the background. She was just not a lady that stood out. No, it's definitely for Sheila. Sorry, soul. I know you've written that she's your ex-mother-in-law, but you had a reasonably good relationship with her when she was here. This lady's, although she's quiet, she's very full of energy. If she's out in the street, she would barely speak to anybody. She wouldn't really have any eye contact. But in the house, she was more open, still quiet, but more open and dependable. Does that sound right? Okay.
Passed before she knew her. we don't have dead air time. I'm going to read her answers out loud so that everybody who just listens to the MP3 will also get the answers. So she said her aunt passed before she knew her.
Okay. The important thing is there's a baby in spirit, and I don't know whether it wasn't born alive or whether it died very young. But it's a young baby, and I think it's a girl. I think it's a pink blanket it's wrapped in.
Okay, start because I didn't hear you.
Say again?
That was Sheila. Sheila's now mic'd up. Go for it.
Hurrah!
Yeah, start over because I didn't hear you.
Right. Right from the very beginning, or?
No. Something about little girl or something?
I've got a baby. She's either was stillborn, or she died quite young. I'm sure it's a girl. I'm sure it's a pink blanket that she has. She's either yours or very close to you. The reason why this lady, whichever of your relatives it is in, is to let you know, so either you know or you can tell somebody close to you that she has her. Alright? The baby's fine, and the baby's with this lady.
My grandmother passed away. One was a girl.
Give me that again, pardon?
Oh, man. Twins that passed away at birth. They were a girl and a boy.
Okay. This is a young girl that was born around the, I want to say 70s again.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
I know my mom had a miscarriage in between me and my brother. She was 6 months.
Okay. It's either yourself or it's somebody very close to you. And they've been worried and fretting about this baby. Is it okay? What happens to it once it's passed? It's going to give them a lot of comfort for them to find out that this wee lady in the long mac and little shopping bag has her. She's got her enfolded in her arms and she's looking after her. So the baby is safe, right? So whoever that's for, there's lots of tears at the moment and there's going to be even more when they hear about it. But it's something that's really going to help because they've been worried, they've been scared.
Okay.
And I think it was one of those things that at the time it was never really discussed. There was never any counselling, there was just pull up your socks and get on with it type attitude, really. So it's been carried for a while, but the tears and the emotions and probably health have all been a lot because they've been concerned, they've been worried, they've been thinking, they've been whatever they need to know. So it's important that they get told, alright? So you do know who it is, it's somebody close. And they just need to know this. I don't see twins, I just see one baby, and I'm sure it's a girl.
Okay.
And I think it looks about the right size to be full term. So I presume it's either stillborn, or died very soon afterwards.
It was full term or not?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Okay. That wee lady, with her, there's an old man, bald head, bit of hair around the sides, wore a sort of suit jacket. I think he was I think he worked with his hands as a sort of engineer or worked with metal.
Okay.
A short guy, very happy, smiley, around sort of slightly pink-cheeked face, always had a smile in his eyes. A real nice guy. I think he's with her. That makes sense.
I'm trying to think. The only person, I really didn't have a lot of interaction with my family growing up. So the only person that I would think of, it could be my husband's dad.
Okay. You have a picture of him with it's not a suit, but it's a sort of a blazer jacket thing, a sort of tweedy thing, working man's uniform sort of thing, but a jacket. The sort of clothes you'd see the old grandfather's era, and after the war, what men wore to go to work. The jumper and the shirt underneath, and they took this blazer off and possibly even a flat cap. That sort of thing. It wasn't office based. He worked his hands, and I think I'm seeing skyscrapers and building the steels or working with the steels.
My husband's dad was a lineman for the phone company.
Okay. Could be that. I don't know. Sorry. I'd like to just grab it and say yes, please. I'll have that. But
okay.
I think it'll come to you soon. You will know who he is. But the reason he's in is just really to bring some laughter. There's been an awful lot of not unhappiness, but just general downness around you at the moment and for a wee while now. He's in to bring you a bit of a lift, a bit of a taking you by the elbow and helping you laugh and giggle and smile again, because it's been a wee bit long since you've been doing it properly.
Mhm.
There's a situation around you at the moment. It's been going on for some time, and you've been putting a couple of what ifs and planning alternatives, and if I do this, I could do that. If I don't do this, this will happen. All those sort of thoughts have been going through your head. I think he's there to also just to give you a little nudge, because you actually do know what's the best thing you need to do in this situation at the moment. Alright? You do actually know. It's a decision that you know that you need to make. It's one that's going to be a little bit and flying by the seat of your pants, but it's going to be okay. Alright?
Mhm.
So, you have free will to do exactly as you need to do. You can make any decision you want, whether you decide to follow that advice or not. It's your decision.
Okay.
But if you do make the decision, it's going to be okay. If you don't make the decision, it will also be okay, because you will find your way through whatever it is that's going on, and you'll get there eventually. If you make the decision that you know you need to make along the route or the road, the path that you have been seriously thinking about but are a bit worried about, it will probably be shorter, harder but shorter. Okay?
Mhm.
And you need to laugh some more. So you need to be in Darlene's radio show every Sunday night, and you'll be giggling away, but you need to do more of it, right? Because just now, it's all been a bit heavy, all a bit black. Get some yellow flowers, daffodils, get some flowers in, just put them around various places. Start brightening up your house a wee bit, because the place that you spend most of your time has gotten a bit tired, so you need to brighten it up with some flowers and open the curtains more and do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to get better, and you will get there. Okay? I would invest in some more hankies, some tissues, because there probably will be quite a few more tears.
Yeah.
But it's going to be okay. Whatever you decide to do, it's going to be okay, and you do know what to do. I don't know if you use them or whether you know how to use them, but dowsing crystals, dowsing is something you need to look into as well.
Okay.
Start working on it and get your cards back out. They've been tucked away and getting a little bit dusty too much as well. And if you're not already, then you're a bit of a medium and intuitive, and I'm seeing something like teacups. That's something you need to be sitting talking to when you get a like-minded friend in. Get the teacups, get the loose tea out and the teacups out, or read coffee grains or whatever. But it's all those old-fashioned type things, sitting at the dining room table or the kitchen table and sitting doing little readings for each other. I think there's a lady. I think she's blonde or light-coloured, light brown hair. A nice sort of jolly friend that you used to spend a lot of time with. You haven't spent so much time with her recently. You need to reinstate that contact just to help you, to talk to you, to get you to start working and doing things that you used to do again. Alright? Going quiet again.
I knew it. I think there's
I'm here.
Okay.
I just have lag time.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Did you have any questions for Scott?
I've been having issues.
Sorry?
Let me type it.
Yeah, okay. She's been having health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can try talking as well. But do you have anything on her for her health issues?
I don't know if it's just mine or whether she's also got a lower back pain, something around the right shoulder, a bit of breathing going on, a bit of sort of chestiness, a bit of tightness. I think the person that you would sit and do pulling cards with, or doing a wee bit of mediumship with, or that sort of thing, I think she also does healing, or you also do healing. That would be it. That would help. That would help everything. That would help a lot. But other health issues, I don't know. I can't seem to get anything on that one.
Okay.
But you do need to be a little bit more gentle on yourself. You expect an awful lot more of yourself, as we all do. You expect an awful lot more of yourself than you do of anybody else in your life or anybody else that you'd meet. And the advice that you'd give those people who were in a situation that you're in, start giving it to yourself and listening.
Yeah, I do.
It's very hard
What about my kids? Do you see anything with them or anything I need to be aware of?
I think any reading that you get at the moment is all to do with the situation that you're in. The one that's been giving you a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of tears, a lot of thinking, a lot of ache. Any reading that you're getting is going to be focusing on that, because that's the big thing that you need to worry about at the moment, or that's the thing that you need to consider at the moment. Give that your energy. Everything else is ticking by. Everything else is, they're coping, they're managing, they're getting on with things. But you're using them as a distraction so that you don't have to do the thing that you know that you need to do. Alright? So the reading, I feel, tonight is just focus on you. It's your time. Because once you're sorted, once you've got things the way that you're in a better place, you can then use the energy that you're using just now just to cope and to worry and do all the other things to help other people around you achieve what they need to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. So start thinking of you. Everyone else will be okay. If you vanish tomorrow into this alien spaceship, yeah, they'll be a bit upset, but they'd cope. So they don't need you to micromanage everything they do. Right? So step back a wee bit and focus on you, because once you're sorted, once you've got things at least moving along the way that you know it needs to move.
So we're planning on moving in a couple of months.
Okay.
Do you see that to fruition?
Don't know. I'd like to say yes, obviously. I don't know. I think there's things that you have to decide first for that to happen. That's one of the routes that you know is available to you if you make the decision that you choose to make. What?
Okay, well, it is time for us to go. It is now 8:30. No, it's okay. Don't apologize. You know what? Soul Destroyer, the next time we have an open show, I will make sure that you come back and you will get a reading. I'm sorry, missed it. But you know how things work, right? This is not Pound Talk. So thank you very much, Sheila, for allowing Scott to give you that message. I hope we need to talk. Tracy, you were late, but you were still here, so thank you very much. Fellini and Scott and Soul Destroyer and Tracy and just everybody who showed up, whether you're still here or you're listening in the archives. Everyone behave, be good to yourselves, and just be happy.
So, before you go, one very quick thing. The back near side tyre, the brakes, that whole assembly thing in there, you need to have a wee look at that. And if you're not a mechanic, get somebody who can to have a wee look in there, because there's something going on that you need to sort out before you end up in a ditch somewhere. Back near side tyre.
No, that's for Soul.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, what?
Just get it done. Silly man. Anyway. Good night, everybody.
Night all. Love yous.